Morning everybody, morning. So I've got the Clio here now. If you actually forgot I had this car, so did I actually forgot I had this car. So I bought this car probably about 3 weeks ago, and this is the second video I've ever seen it. I've only done one video and I'll be showing you the damn car. Basically it's broken, of course it is, I bought it. Now I've been super busy with True Rally and stuff, so that's why I've not done another video. Here's a little cinematic of True Rally. So we're on True Rally. So we're going to be going to the North Coast 500 next year in April, so get it, pencil it in and get ready for the tickets. But today we're going to try and fix this Clio. Now the issue with it is it doesn't go in 3rd, 4th or 5th gear. It doesn't go in any of those gears with the car's on, with the car off, with the clutch in, clutch off. It just never wants to go in. So a part of me is being hopeful that it's something to do with the selector and not the actual gearbox. It's very weird of a gearbox to do what it's doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into it today and see what it is. If it is the gearbox, I don't think we're going to have to change the gearbox today, but today we're going to actually see what's happening with it. Now I actually think that diagnosing a problem is harder than fixing a problem. So today we're going to be attempting to diagnose it. The battery is flat, I've had to push it in here, so I'm absolutely knackered already. So it is a is it 170? I thought it was a 182. It's a 172. Now the clutch is really heavy. They are quite heavy on these anyway, but this is a lot heavier. So we got 1st gear, 2nd gear, no 3rd, no 4th, no 5th, and it just feels like shit around here. And then it never really goes back to neutral properly. If you try and get in, like it never really goes back, and reverse works as well. So now, hear that slapping? And see, it doesn't really sit in neutral. So I think it's a selector issue. So yeah, let's try and yeah, see what's up with this car. Gearbox in these actually sits to the right. It's not like Japanese ones where they're through the middle of the car, which is probably easiest to deal with gearbox stuff. These are actually tucked away all under here. So I'm going to actually start removing all this stuff off. I'm going to have a look through the top. I've got my shit jack with me, so I can't get the car that high. So it's going to be a struggle to see him from underneath. So I'm going to do what's easier. And if we do need to move the gearbox, all this needs to come out anyway, and there's actually not that much stuff here. There's an intake, battery case, stuff like that. So let's just get it out of the way, make the job easy for ourselves. So I don't really know what I'm pulling out here. It's just, if it seems like it's going to get in the way or just stop me seeing what I need to see, I'm just taking it off. I have no idea what I'm looking for until something looks a bit off. I'm like, maybe that's off. But I've noticed something already which does not look standard to me. So I think I've found a reason why the clutch is so heavy, which I'll show you in a minute once I get these brackets off. So have a look here. This is the clutch. So on, if you have a look, that's the clutch fork in there. I assume so. Anyway, I've never worked on one of these, but I assume so. And this is a clutch. So the reason why Clio clutches are so stiff is they have a cable clutch, not a hydraulic clutch. So this is actually a cable which links to your clutch inside the car. So when you're pulling that cable, pulls the clutch. See all this, I mean that comes off really easy to me. And then this side as well, it looks like you've got weights on there. So Clio people, could you please comment below if that's a thing? Because they don't look standard, because they look aftermarket and they look new as hell. Just pull the clutch, it just sits in it like that. Like there's literally nothing stopping that clutch from falling off and just going, yep, that's off. So like it just pushes on the clutch like that and it just comes straight off. Don't know if that's stuck, but yeah, maybe that's why the clutch is so heavy. Maybe it's weighted, I don't know. But trying to move some stuff out the way. Something just easy to connect because I can't really get the wiring off the ECU so easily, but this thing's annoying here. I'm struggling to see where the actual selectors are, so I might go underneath and fold them to the car because I thought I would see them by now. This looks like a huge gearbox mount or something. But I'm still struggling to see where the connector actually goes, you know, onto the box. It is, the selector's on the bottom of the gearbox. I've just got underneath and have a look. But nonetheless, it's nice to get everything out of the way to see what's going on. And I would have never found out about that clutch thing as well. But yeah, the selector is right on the bottom of the gearbox, so I think I'm going to jack this side of the car up, get as high as I physically can, get underneath and see what we're dealing with. It is quite oily under there, but I don't know if it's gearbox oil or engine oil, so we can have a bit of a smell and have a look. So yeah, let's get underneath, and I can already see it's like super loose and the rubber's all come off, so it might just be something to do with that. But I'm going to try and knock it into first gear, knock it into the gears with a hammer and stuff. So yeah, let's try and get the car as high as possible and see if we can just sort it out. I have read online that this has happened to a few people and they've knocked it in and out of gear and then it's been fine. It just seized up a little bit. Hope that's the case, but you know, I'm not going to try and be too positive. Okay, my GoPro is bollocks. We're here underneath the car, so might be a little bit dark for you guys, but I'm going to try my best. Here is the selector, okay? And here is where it goes onto the gearbox. So this thing here is the selector. Now, it's going in gear fine. The clutch is going in gear. It's going in gear fine. It's driving fine in first, second and reverse. So I know it's not anything to do with the clutch. Something to do with getting in third, fourth and fifth. I'm going to take the selector off, or the gear linking. I'm going to take here off. Obviously to get in first you have to go over, which pushes it down. Or is it, okay, you got to go up and then first. And then second is up and then back. And then that should be third, but it's not. And then over should be fourth. So something's wrong and it just makes it confused with the linkage being on. So let's get this arm off, because if you look here, see this rubber? It shouldn't really be like that. That should be not like that. So, and it just doesn't feel very like secure. Like, look how shit that feels. It feels really loose. So yeah, let's try and get this off. Okay guys, so here is the selector. I've just took it off the arm just so I can get as much play as I can. Okay, so all the way up, back, reverse, down a little bit, forward first, down a little bit second. Now one of these should be third and fourth. It's just not trying to find it out all. I can try and get it in fifth. So fifth, it's down, and you can hear it. So it's trying to get in fifth, but it's not. And when I'm trying to get in, it loses neutral. So like, I've got to see now it's back in neutral. I feel like it's something inside the box, which is going to be an issue. So yeah, quite annoying. I don't have the right shit to be fully taking the gearbox out today. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to try and get most of the stuff out of the way, because this side of the subframe needs to drop. There is a video on YouTube, so I'm probably going to do a little bit of research tonight. I do not have a jack to keep the engine up while I'm taking the gearbox off, so that's in the van, and the van's only here tomorrow. The jack in the back of the van, or Will's got one of my jacks in his, so I can't do that right now. But what we are going to be doing is we're going to be getting ready for the car to drop the gearbox. I think it's best if I do pull the gearbox out. I've been playing with that selector for about 20 minutes, half an hour now, and I genuinely can't find an issue with it. But from what I remember is it's all on that side of the car, so I need to take the wheel off. I need to start taking things off that side as well, and the gearbox slides out from the passenger side, down and out. So we've got to unbolt the drive shaft. We're going to pull out most of it in one, so we're going to leave the bottom arm on. So we can either take the bottom arm off there with the two bolts, or we can take the ball joint off here, depending on which one it is, and then take the strut off the top, and then take the drive shaft and pull the hub, the brakes and the drive shaft out all in one, and that leaves us with a ton of room then, and we have to fuck out with these. So the only thing we might have to fuck about with is the bottom ball joint. If that pays, it is a little bit of a pain, but yeah, let's take it off, and we're gonna have to take the brake caliper off, and we'll leave that over there somewhere as well. Fucking hell, what is that shit? So luckily enough on the Clio, what it looks like is that the bottom ball joint is actually bolted onto the bottom arm separately, which is awesome. You don't have to piss about with that ball joint, because ball joints are an absolute nightmare. So it looks like we've just got two bolts there. It should just unbolt from that arm, I hope and pray. Oh no guys, because Renault don't know what they're doing. What is the point of putting there if you don't put a captive nut on the other side? Because the other side just spins. And how can you lock off the other side? Yeah, you guessed it guys, you can't, because the drive shaft's in the way. Oh my god. Yeah, just a quick update. Everything that could be annoying on this is annoying. So the trap rod isn't coming off because it's spinning underneath. And yeah, you guessed it, there's no way to put a spanner, so that's great. The bottom ball joint, yep, you guessed it, that's coming off. because of a stupid design where they put 2 bolts so that you can't actually access the bolts on top with the drive shaft on, and you can't get the drive shaft off without putting that bottom ball joint on. So I've no idea why why that's a thing. So one trick to get the trap rod off if it's spinning. So mine's spinning. It's not got a thing here to put a spanner on, and whether it has not or it's just totally not there anymore, it's not got a bit to put in the top of the thread either. So just get a bar and just pull up on the trap rod, and that'll push it against the arm, and that should stop the thing spinning. Oh. And stops it spinning. Oh my god, this is like GCSE shit, and it's taking ages because it's a Renault. Seriously. This bottom ball joint was literally just not coming off. So I've jacked this side up, and I've managed to take off the first bolt, which was a joke. Remember them 2 bolts I was talking about? The first bolt, which holds the anti-roll bar in, and then I can get to them 2 bolts, which looks like it attaches the bottom arm to the bottom ball joint. So I'm just going to drop this side, and hopefully it just fucking comes off, like, honestly, because it's getting this fucking joke now. Right, so now the hub is away from the bottom arm, eventually. So I'm going to go in there and get those drive shaft bolts off there. They look like 13 mils or something. Hopefully I can get in pretty easy. So the drive shaft bolts are out, and it's just dripping into a container down there. So I'm going to let that drip out a little bit. So now I'm going to just take the top mount off, and we should be able to pull all that out as one. Bloody ABS wire. Luckily I've managed to disconnect the ABS wire from inside the wheel arch, because I tried to get that off, and like usual the ABS wires on Renaults, it ain't coming. So there is our strut with our drive shaft on. Guys, I haven't really got the tools to be going any further, and by the time I've gone and got those tools, we're too late. I've got other things to do today, so I'm gonna leave it like this for now. Next video we're going to take the gearbox off, unless someone gives me some amazing information in the comments on this video of how I don't need to do that and what could be wrong with it, but I'm pretty sure it's a gearbox issue. I was pissing about with that linkage for way too long for it to just be something simple. Gearboxes are about 150-200 quid, so it's not a big deal, but you say if I don't need to do that, then I wouldn't want to do that. So we're going to get the gearbox off in the next video, and hopefully it's something simple, but as you say, my knowledge of gearboxes isn't amazing, so yeah. But thanks for watching, everyone. It's been absolutely, I'd like to say it's been great doing this video, but it's been absolutely horrendous working on another Renault. I'm not going to lie, I forgot how badly engineered these cars are. Like, none of that needed to happen. None of that stress needed to happen. Could have been easily avoided, but because it's Renault, it wasn't. I'm cut all over, and I'm quite frankly, I just want a Burger King. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I love you all, and we'll see you in the next one.